My name is Connie Reguli. I am a Tennessee attorney, family policy specialist, and child welfare reform activist. As an activist and reformer, I lobby for change in Washington, D.C. and in the states with other citizen activists. With the Family Forward Project nationwide, we invite other families to come to Washington and tell their story. This presentation is about foster care awareness. Every year, 1 million American family homes are affected. 687,000 children are in the foster care system, and there's about a 2/3 turnover every year. That means over 450,000 children enter the foster care system every year. That amounts to over 1,000 children a day, or almost a child every minute of every day. How does this happen? Well, the judges enter ex parte orders. These are orders that are entered without notice, no hearing, no process, no exigency, no emergency, and then they use law enforcement. The state agency is allowed to get ex parte investigative orders with no notice and no hearing, allowing them to come into your home and even remove your child and have him forensically examined without any finding of abuse. To a child, it is nothing more than a foster stranger. There's no special education or training, and they are all paid by the taxpayers. It is a privately owned, for-profit, taxpayer-funded system. Through Title IV funding in sections B, D, and E, they all affect the child welfare system. The Title IV-E money, which is the largest set of funds, goes to the removal of children from their homes. 85% of these children who are removed from their homes are taken under the undefined category of neglect, not abuse. This is how the Tennessee Department of Children's Services defines neglect. It can be categorized as environmental, nutritional, medical, educational, lack of supervision, or abandonment. What is the why of neglect? Well, it comes from substance abuse, mental health issues, poverty, unresolved childhood trauma, lack of housing, and lack of family support. Money then goes to the foster parents. They receive between $950 and $3,000 per month tax-free, along with free medical, free transportation, and a lot of other financial incentives. Then the biological parents are ordered to pay the state or lose their parental rights forever. The parents are then reduced to visitors. They only receive 4 hours a month with their children. More than just the money that goes to foster parents, if they adopt the children, those parents continue to receive a monthly stipend for the children until they reach 18. This is the result of the Adoption and Safe Families Act of 1997. In addition to those funds, the Adoption Assistance Entitlement money, which is over $9 million a month just in the state of Tennessee, bonus checks to state agencies, and adoptee incentives add to the foster cash. Kinship and relative placement is often ignored or denied because it results in no money for the state agency. The state only receives the Title IV-E money when they remove a child from their home. This funding program is a dollar-for-dollar match, use it or lose it scheme, and it is never subject to sequester. The federal funds for foster care are $9 billion a year in taxpayer money. In 2018, Congress passed the Family First Services and Prevention Act. This was to provide 12 months of services before a child is removed, kinship care navigation, to close group homes, and to provide services for pregnant minors in foster care. Not one state has fully implemented the Family First Act program. The $18 billion a year for-profit industry known as the foster care cash is truly the boogeyman in the closet. The children's hospitals also profit from foster care cash. Tennessee Vanderbilt alone receives $4 million a year directly from the Department of Children's Services. In addition to Vanderbilt, we have East Tennessee Children's, Memphis Children's, and Erlanger's Children in Chattanooga, which all profit. Doctors from these children's hospitals then serve as experts for the agencies, diagnosing the children with neglect and abuse. The Tennessee taxpayers carry the burden. As you can see, their budget increases every year for the Department of Children's Services, often by over $50 million. The 2019-2020 DCS budget reached $913 million, and another $108 million on top of that for the adoption entitlement. It is an ever-increasing budget demand. Abused children are damaged goods. Children that are subjected to sexual abuse or chronic physical abuse are very difficult and dangerous to place because of the lack of services. Then children with the mental and behavioral health challenges often end up being surrendered back to the state. Infants are removed from their mothers in the hospital on faulty and unconfirmed drug tests. There's a problem with faulty drug screens. There's a lack of lab confirmation, a failure to preserve specimens for collateral testing, and a lack of training. Relatives, including grandparents, are treated like strangers. The children are emotionally alienated from their parents. There are problems that are inherent in the system. A system that strives to serve also seeks to exist, and a problem that feeds a population will never be resolved. They lie, cheat, and steal, and destroy lives. This is the dirty little secret that no one wants to talk about. The system is wrought with dysfunction. Parents are denied copies of their very own records. There are lies put in the government reports. The children suffer from multiple placements. The agency refuses to do internal investigations, and there's incompetent communication skills. And there are intentional delays in the reunification with the parents. The result for kids in care is devastating. 50% of homeless adults spent time in foster care. After reaching 18, 20% of foster kids are instantly homeless. A foster kid has a 3% chance of getting a college degree. 25% of the kids from foster care don't finish high school. 1/3 of kids are placed in care due to parental substance abuse. 34% of kids in care struggle with substance abuse themselves. 60% of all child sex trafficking victims were in foster care. Yes, 60% of children trafficked will come from foster care. This is the reality of foster stranger placement. We can be the change. Through the Family Forward Project, we communicate across the country with families and professionals and lobby in DC and the states for change. Join us in the battle for families. You can find us on the Family Forward Project on Facebook or follow me, Connie Reguli, on YouTube. And I'll leave you with this.